A question from the Kliq This podcast. Kev's thoughts on the Miz's promo on LA Knight.
Well, so if I'm LA Knight and I go over in the Slim Jim Battle Royal, I finally think like, okay, like they're realizing that I'm over, and I'm going to start to get a push, and then I come out on Raw, and they basically give Miz everything that we said on this show.
Give him a copy of our show.
Give him a copy of our show, basically saying that you're just a ripoff of the Attitude Era. And I didn't say anything about Steve because Steve was pissed off of me about something else. So I didn't want to bring Steve up. But of course, the yeah is just taking the hell off of it. So of course, I definitely see the comparisons. But it just, I don't know. I thought that it showed how well the Miz can cut a promo. I think it showed. I thought that there was, if I was grading that segment, I would definitely, because LA bobbled a couple of lines where the Miz was spot on. So I've always said in this business that, when it comes down to it, when they say who's the best worker, who's the best this, who's the best that, it's really hard for me not to say, I don't know, maybe the guy with the hot wife that lives in the big house is probably worth $10 million. Yeah.
You didn't see equal in that ring that night. You didn't see.
No, I didn't feel. No, I felt it, and I also think though that LA Knight he's got what he wants. He's, but it's almost like I would have taken that almost like, wow, like I got what I wanted, but it's almost like I'm being booby trapped. I don't. It just felt weird. It just felt like. And then if you're gonna really, because Miz throws the jacket on him and gets some heat on him, and that didn't look very vicious. Didn't look,
Gotcha.
I'm being kind.
You're being kind.
I'm being kind, and that didn't look vicious. And then Ellie came out on top of it, and then I would have went to the people or I would went to the hard camera and did my LA Knight thing, and I would have got halfway through the ropes, then I would have stopped, turned, looked back at him, and then slowly made my way back over to see whether I was going to drop that elbow gimmick or whatever. Then I would have shook his hand, and that would have been the out. Because he tried to get him to shake his hand earlier, and he wouldn't. Instead, he did the move, laid down next to him. Looked like he was jerking him off with a handshake. I think he should have made that more of a pronounced, hey, motherfucker, just in case you didn't know who the fuck I am, I'm shaking your hand now.
A moment, as we say in storytelling. Make it a moment.
And there's always, like I say, there's always those moments, man, and that's the difference between good and great. So next time, just, people used to always say, fucking, I hate, why are you grabbing a hold? Or guess what, man? If you grab a fucking hold on somebody, the only person they can talk about is you. They're not calling.
On commentary, you mean?
Yeah, they're not fucking calling 55. If you're nonstop doing a bunch of bullshit, they can't just talk about you. They can't talk about how handsome you are, how great fucking you. They can't put you over. If you fucking got somebody and they're selling, all they can do is they got to talk about you.
Or read a fucking Doritos spot like they do so many times when the action is.
Or go picture on a picture. So
Right.
I'm just gonna hit the X4 on that until it fucking goes back until no picture on a picture.